Howdy, I am the Bean Slinger, and I am working on my car today. Got a 2006 Honda Odyssey Touring. As far as I know, that just means it has run flat wheels and leather interior. I took the run flats off, inertia costs you gas. The problem I'm dealing with today is I have a no crank, no start. The starter has been changed out of it. I'll show you what's going on here. Key goes in, accessory, everything energizes. Nothing. Sometimes that's the problem. Other times, you hear a little bit of a buzz coming from the the ignition solenoid. Sometimes swapping the key over will help it get started. The quick start solution is the only way to get started when it happens. That's my kid. She's not impressed with this not working either. So, when the buzz happens, you hear it's coming down here, near where the relay and solenoid, well, I had an 89 Civic, had the same issue. Buzz in the same place. My solution was to, well, I'd turn the key to accessory and I'd roll out to the front and hotwire it. There's considerably more electrics here and there's a lot more crap in the way of the starter, so that is not an option. My choices are either a push button switch to bridge the relay or figure out where the switch has gone wrong. Alright, I got a little bit of a jungle gym situation going on here. From the Honda Odyssey owners forum and from the internets, solution for this is to take apart the cowling on your steering column. Underneath here, series about 3 bolts, and I hear a couple of twists to remove the lower dash trim. After that, we're going to look at the ignition switch. Hopefully I can find a battery to put in my voltmeter here and check and make sure that there's a low voltage situation going to the ignition relay, which would cause it to not trip the igniter. The screws are out. 3 screws attached it underneath the column. Getting it out kind of was a pain in the butt. I used a screwdriver to pry the top part off and then had to roll the bottom part down and out. Wasn't fun. Then again, I'm not a real mechanic, so I just sort of understand it. The problem is supposedly, from what I've heard and what I've seen, this little box, right me off. This dude. That is a, I guess, secondary manner of relay that you can see it's in line with the ignition switch. So something down there, contact, send signal, back through this wiring, down into your harness, and over down here to the left, your ignition solenoid, and then finally out to your starter. That way. Behind that shit. Let's take this box off. And I hear that it looks like there's some scorching and stuff on the inside of it. So if I'm going to run a bypass switch, it's not going to be important. And if I find that it's scorched on the inside, I don't have to drill any holes in my dashboard. I would much rather not drill holes in my dashboard. I don't know about you guys. Little personal notes for you guys. That little yellow connector, focus. Get yourself some pliers, pinch him, and then push him through that little hole right there into the opening so his cable can clear this itty bitty little hole thingy right here. I bite my nails, whatever. Now, this has been taken off, and that certainly looks like some scorching. Yeah, electrical connectors aren't supposed to be all dark and carbony looking on the inside, know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take care of this. We're gonna take a field trip to the auto parts store and see if we can't get a new one of these fools. So this is the bottom half of the unit we pulled out. That's where it goes into your ignition. The key, when you turn it, twists that knobby, activates a contact. This is the outer casing. This is where it goes to its electrical connector. All right, we're just back from AutoZone. We got our new ignition starter switch. Interruptor del encendido. Encendido. There we go. My Spanish sucks. Right. AutoZone. You guys rock. $50 odd though. Not too stoked on that. It's like a third of the cost of the entire unit. Zoom on in here. Little curious as to why that looks obviously worn and used. Also, that is a S5A-3. I don't know how much that matters. Geometry, exact same. Let's put it in. Let's see how this works. All right. Individual results vary here. I only had to take off 5 bolts to do this. I did take off 2 extras to remove this cowling. The lower cowling below the steering column, fiddle with the angles and the screwdriver. Basically, that gap right here in front of you is what I used to get my screwdriver up to hit the 2 smallest screws that were holding on the ignition starter relay. Interrupto del encendido. We're going to put it on, and I'm going to talk you back through the 5 screws you have to reinstall to put this on here. Ultimately, you're talking about 1 hour mechanic time, about $100. The unit marked up to retail cost, which is keystoning, so about $360 for someone to replace your entire lock cylinder. Or spend about 30 minutes, grab your screwdriver, take out 5 screws, get a $50 part, swap it out, swap it back in. Does it work? Let's find out. I'm going to leave the camera running for you here, even though it's Mickey Mouse. I'm going to put the connector back onto it. I'm going to hold it in place. If it doesn't work, no point in screwing it back on now, is there? Like a glove, it fits back on. Take the keys, put them in the ignition. 1, 2, 3. Hi there. Well, I guess that fixed our problem. Running back through it, I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to turn the car off. I'm going to get back to my phone here. Show you my armpit while I'm at it. So, our screws are located thusly. One more time. On this unit, you got the corner one all the way underneath it. Straight back up inside, you got the second one. After that, you got 1, 2, and I believe 3 very obvious bolts. This metal unit goes inside of the underside of your column. I'm going to put this all back together. Show you how it looks when it's done. I'm actually pretty proud of this one because this is the first time I've been able to take my car apart. Sorry, somewhat modern car apart and not have a bunch of issues with the trim cracking and breaking, clips, etc., etc., etc. I just wanted to show you this real quick. That center clip I pushed out earlier. You push the screwdriver all the way through that and the steering wheel, pull it down. It'll give you the best angle to pull through this guy and get the screw tightened. Remember, you're inverted, so counterclockwise is the way to go on this one. Then, when you're done, pull it out. I disconnected the lead to it. That proved to be pretty important to get to the bolt. Also, when you're putting it up in here, finger tight first. It's make your life a lot easier. I didn't do it taken off. Lower cowling comes off like it goes back on. You're going to pull your steering column release. This lever. You're going to get it through that open slot right there. Then you're going to roll the flange at the bottom up under this gap and in until it fits. Then you're going to put the top over it. Anchor's back on. I just slid it right through the middle here and back into place. So all I have to do now, other than sitting on my leg, is push this guy back up and into place, put his screws on, and put the top of the cowling, that little dude over there, back up here. Pretty good for someone stumbling their way through it. I'm stoked on this one.